Hello and welcome to the 2025 Beckman Young Investigator Interview Preparation slideshow. My name is Nicole Patras, Senior Program Officer for the Beckman Young Investigator Program. And today I'll be sharing with you some information about the foundation as well as what to expect during the BYI interview process. The Arnold and Mabel Beckman Foundation was started by Dr. Arnold Beckman and his wife Mabel. The two of them met during World War I and married in 1925. They moved to the West Coast in 1930s, and Arnold became an assistant professor of chemistry at Caltech. Arnold left Caltech in 1935 to pursue other opportunities and formed a successful company that specialized in instrumentation, eventually inventing the Beckman pH meter, oxygen analyzer, and spectrophotometer. He and Mabel also raised a family in Orange County, California. Decades later, the sale of the Beckman instruments made the Beckmans wealthy, and they decided to give back to science through the formation of their namesake foundation and the construction of 5 Beckman Research Institutes and centers. Since 1977, the foundation has given more than $700 million in support to United States researchers and research institutions. At this point in the BYI review process, you've made it to the interview. The interview committee is composed of 4 members of our executive committee, 2 with expertise in biology and 2 with expertise in chemistry. Interview committee members may not be experts in your field, similar to how it has been set up for the entire review process. As previously stated, please continue to avoid using jargon and lingo specific to your area of research. Speak to a general scientific audience. These 4 members will lead the interview process and engage in the Q&A session. After all interviews are completed, the committee will reconvene to vote on the top 10 candidates. These selections will be subject to final approval by the board of directors. Additionally, the foundation requests that the 2 newest members of the executive committee observe the BYI interview process for training purposes. These members will not participate in the interview panel or cast a vote for the top 10 candidates. In addition to the interview committee, there will be several members of the foundation staff in attendance as well. This includes Dr. Ann Holtgren, Executive Director, Katrina Bryant, Deputy Director, and myself, Nicole Patras, Senior Program Officer. We will occasionally have an additional staff member in attendance for training purposes. Foundation staff does not participate in the interview panel or cast a vote for the top 10 candidates. The interview process will be conducted in the exact same manner, ensuring that each finalist is allotted the same amount of time and completes each of the 7 required questions. We'll begin each interview with a quick introduction of both the interviewee and the interview committee. We'll then move on to the 5-minute research proposal presentation. You will have 5 minutes to present your research proposal, and this time limit is strict. It will end at the 5-minute mark, even if you have not completed all of your slides. We'll then move into 10 minutes of technical Q&A. Following the presentation, there'll be 10 minutes allotted for technical questions and answers. You may refer to your slides when responding to the Q&A portion of the interview. Finally, we'll move to the 7-panel interview questions. You will be asked 7 standardized questions to ensure fairness and minimize bias. Each question should take approximately 2 to 4 minutes to answer fully. Slides will not be necessary or available during the interview questions. Lastly, if time permits, you may ask questions of the interview committee to complete the 45-minute interview process. What to expect pre- and post-interview. Pre-interview, the foundation will contact you to confirm your interview date and time. We also ask that you please provide us your cell phone number in case we need to reach you day of. You'll be required to sign a confidentiality and conflict of interest form. This is mandatory for all interviewees and interview committee members. Your presentation slides must be submitted through the application portal by the deadline specified in the information email. Please plan to join the meeting 5 minutes before your scheduled interview time. A member of the foundation staff will admit you, and the interview will begin promptly at the scheduled time. Post-interview, the foundation will reach out regarding decision notifications by mid-May. If you are not selected to move forward, you will receive brief feedback from the interview committee, but please note that no further feedback or information will be shared beyond this communication. If awarded, award notifications will be sent early to mid-May. Once notified, you will need to update your application with the names and contact information of the institutional representatives responsible for signing the award letter. These typically include the Foundation Relations Office, Grants Office, and Financial Office. It's important that you ensure these contacts are correctly identified before submitting to help speed up the award signing process. New awardees are also invited to attend the Beckman Symposium, which will take place July 31st to August 2nd, 2025 in Irvine, California. Please respond to this invitation as soon as possible to let us know if you plan to attend. The foundation requests that official awardee announcements be made by the foundation before any individual announcements are shared. We will keep you informed about when you are permitted to make your own announcement. And finally, year one funding will be distributed in July or August 2025. This slide discusses some of our most frequently asked questions. It would be helpful to read through this. I just want to point out that you will not have access to the interview questions in advance, nor will we provide information about which members of the executive committee will be sitting in on the interview. Lastly, some general preparation tips. As previously mentioned, you will have 5 minutes to present your presentation. We understand this is very brief, so please prepare and focus on clearly communicating the goals and novelty of your proposed research within that short time frame. We want to use this opportunity to learn more about you. Take some time to reflect on how joining the Beckman family would impact your career, your lab, and your future goals. We understand this is also a stressful time, but the foundation does its best to make our interviewees feel at ease. We work hard to ensure that the experience is positive for everyone. And lastly, please remember how much you've already accomplished. We receive annually around 250 letters of intent each year, and only about 100 of those are invited to submit a full application. From there, just 16 are selected to interview and can proudly call themselves Beckman Young Investigator finalists. Thank you for reviewing the BYI interview prep. We wish you the best of luck as you begin the final stage of the BYI review process.